And we're live. Welcome back for another Deadline stream, everyone. The international break is finally over. FPL's back. How are we today? I hope you're all very well. It's good to be back, and I hope you all just about survived the international break. Boring break. I hate the international breaks. It proper kills all the momentum, doesn't it? Same on YouTube as well. Like, I think people take their time coming back from international breaks. So anyway, we're back. It's actually a big day ahead. We've got the Deadline stream for the next 2 hours, and then there's 8 games today. So it's a big FPL day. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Welcome to all of you that are here already. The Focal Ultras, as John put it. Welcome Abhishek, John, O'Brighton, FPL Worm, PCH, Jan, Edzo, Nat Dewan, Anish, Brett, Shad, Flandy, Tarek, Nexet, Objective, Matt, and everyone else. Good to see lots of members in the chat. A lot of people asking about the tattoo already. Do you want to see the tattoo? Oh no, Jago with the 9 months says show the tat. Well, can I show you a photo, or do you actually want to see the tattoo live? Because it's on my ankle. It's not going to be easy to show you it. Well, anyway, I got it done, so I'll show you the photo first. That's where I got it in the end. So the tattoo is done. I got it on my ankle. It didn't hurt as much as I thought it would. Do it live, okay. Well, that's where it is. There's a photo of it. I'm not sure what to think of it, but at least it's on my ankle. It's out of sight. Tats out, okay. Alright, hang on. Let me see if I can do this. Can you see it? So yeah, I got it on my ankle. I was so nervous, and like there was there was a guy next to me. He was getting like his whole back done, and yeah, they weren't very supportive. I was like pretty nervous because I've never had a tattoo or anything. So I was like, oh yeah, a bit nervous, and like he pulled out the printout. They trace it onto your skin, and it was like this size. And he was like, here you go, mate. I was like, whoa, that's a bit bigger than I expected. It was going to be like that. So then I said, can we do it again a bit smaller? So then he was like, oh. So then he like reprinted it smaller. He like traced it on me, and then he was like, he said something like, oh, when you're done being a pussy, you're going to come over and get this tattoo then? Like, he wasn't helping with the nerves at all. But like once I sat down, it was all good. And it turned out he's Vardy's tattoo artist, and he'd done like loads of footballers. So he showed me photos. He'd done like Wes Morgan, Jeffrey Schlupp, like loads of former Leicester players. So yeah, that was pretty cool as well. He used to be the tattoo artist for a bunch of footballers. Yeah. That's the story of the tattoo. So obviously, like, thanks for 200,000 subscribers as well. I'm a man of my word. I did it. Only tattoo I've got, by the way. First tattoo. I know some of you don't like tattoos as well. I was surprised, actually, after I got it, the comments on, I think it was yesterday's video. But anyway, it's done. It's done. At least it's not Patrick Bamford. Legend. Morning, Mikey. How we doing? Start Smith Rowe or Robinson? I think I'd start Smith Rowe there. Yeah, it seems to have healed already, to be fair. It seems to have healed. It wasn't painful. So the first time he went over it, like, it was fine. And I thought he was done. So I was like, because you know that the stroke on the Fs wasn't quite right. So I was like, can you match the angles on the strokes? And he was like, I'm not done. I was like, alright, sorry. And then he went back over it again, and that's when it like hurt a lot more, because he was like going back over what he'd already done. Yeah, it's not even itchy. I was really surprised. Maybe it's because it's a little one, Marcus. Matteo says, Oscar, the app's really useful, by the way. Thanks very much. Yeah, thanks everyone that's using it. There's like over 70,000 people that use the website now, unique users, which is pretty mental when you think about it. If anyone's not got it, it's on both Android and iOS now, or the website's fpl.page. There it is, in all its glory. It's completely free. And it's got like bonus points, your live rank, fixture ticker tool. And as I say, it's completely free. Loads and loads of features in there. So if you want to go get it, just search FPL Focal in the App Store. Enjoy. Eventually I'm going to have to put ads on it because it's costing me so much money. Like, I didn't expect it to be so popular. That was the thing I didn't anticipate. Because last season it was kind of popular, and I was happy paying like 40 quid a month just to write it off as a loss. But this season it's like, in 2 weeks it's already had more traffic than the whole of last season. So yeah, sadly I'm going to have to put ads on it, because otherwise, yeah, it's too much money. But I think that's reasonable in this day and age. I'll probably have an option to hide the ads as well, because some people just don't want to see the ads. So that'll be an option as well if you want to hide the ads for, I don't know how much, cheap amount per month. You should help FPL Mogs get to 500 subs. You know what? I don't know if he's here. Oh, what was his name? When I posted the tattoo, it was FPL Cross the Pod, I think. Yeah, FPL Cross the Pod. I don't know if they're here. But he said, so I posted the tattoo and he said if he gets 100 subscribers, he'll get the Focal logo tattooed as well. So, should I put his channel in the chat and get him to 100? And then he'll have to get the tattoo as well? Or should we not do that? I don't know how responsible I want to feel for it. But he said he would get the tattoo, and I messaged him like, I won't like share it unless you're definitely serious. And he was like, nah, I love the channel, like I will do it. My girlfriend's going to kill me. But maybe I'll chuck his channel in the chat, and then he'll get the Focal logo as well. Bruno worth a punt. Yeah, if like he's got Southampton. I've actually sold him, and I don't feel great about it. But I had the option to keep Saka as well, which keeps me flexible in Game Week 6, basically. So, yeah, the two moves I made, I went Isak and Bruno to João Pedro and Salah. But I actually think Bruno's a solid pick. I just didn't want to go without Salah, especially in Game Week 5 when Liverpool home to Bournemouth and Haaland's got Arsenal, obviously. We are back. Good to see Dylan in the chat. Start Burn or Chris Wood. That's quite close. I'd probably just favour the attacker there and start Wood. Not going to be an easy game though, I realise. It's not like Newcastle have been solid defensively so far. Havertz or Smith Rowe? I'd go Havertz just about. Ashton's like the stream, folks. Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, do like it and make sure you're subscribing. Get your questions in the chat. Jack says focal neck tattoo, Trent or Eze in this week. They're both amazing picks this week. I'd probably favour Trent just about slightly more, if you can afford either. The Archbishop of Banterbury says, congratulations on the subscribers, Oscar. Fair play to the tat. You're a man of your word. Start Gordon or Rodgers. I'd go Gordon there between those two. Craig, 7.9k overall. What's everyone's overall rank at this stage? How are we all doing this early in the season? Morning, Cheekster. How are we doing? Any news on Palmer? Will he start this weekend? He's been seen in training, yeah. On the left-hand side of the stream, there's a news or team news widget now, which is new. And that's got a little bit about Palmer there. Basically just that he's back in training. So that rotates in with the experts' captaincy. 370k, 1.5 mil, 32k, 100k, 75k, 3k Bella, very nice. 1.22 mil, nice John. 20k, 4 mil. Don't worry about being 4 mil. It's so early in that one. It's so early. I think last season I was like, I feel like I was about 3.5 mil at Game Week 7, and I still finished well. So it doesn't really matter this early. Like one massive Game Week score completely changes your season. So I wouldn't sweat it. I mean, you could be 3 mil at Christmas and still come top 100k easily. It's not out of the question at all. So don't worry about your rank if it's, you know, if you haven't started as well as you would have hoped. Still to Verbruggen. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't got a keeper and still is your keeper, George, then yeah, I suppose I would make that switch. Best 4.5 mil keeper. So I'd say Verbruggen, and I actually still think Henderson and Flecken, but probably Verbruggen if I had to pick one. 50 more subs for the tattoo from FPL across the pond. Alright, this is his channel, so if he gets to 100 subscribers, he's going to get the Focal logo tattooed. So let's help him get that. If you want him to get the Focal logo tattooed, that's his channel. Go subscribe there as well. I was speaking to him in DMs. I was like, I won't share it unless you're deadly serious. Like, oh, because he did say it, and I wasn't sure if he was saying it and then, you know, might regret it. But he was deadly serious. Like, he said he'd get the Focal logo tattooed as well if he gets 100. So that's his channel. Everyone go subscribe. Cameron's just sub. Nice one. I actually watched their podcast as well. It's actually genuinely good content as well. It's a good podcast, the two of them. They have good insight. They're articulate. They seem to know their stuff. Good graphics, timestamps. So actually a good channel as well. And they were on like 9 subs or something when they said it. So anyway, check them out. Ruscio did the Henderson Flecken rotation. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of rotating keepers, but it can work. It's just that they keep clean sheets when you least expect it sometimes. Like, you probably start Flecken in game week 6 and 7, don't you? But then Henderson could concede, you know, 6 shots away at Everton, keep a clean sheet, and then he's on like a 10-pointer. And then, you know, Flecken unexpectedly concedes to Wolves, whoever they've got there. Flanny's thinking Palmer captain. I feel like this week, most people are going Salah or Haaland. I mean, who are you guys going? Salah or Haaland? Or are you going someone else? Those have got to be the two, haven't they, in the conversation? Have to be. I think it's so close as well. Pranny asks, can you add expected price rises and falls on the app? I'd love to. I'd love to. I've been quoted £1,000 to add that, so I need to find another way to do it. Or maybe I'll change my mind and just feel like it's worth it. But on a completely free app, it's like, can I really justify spending £1,000? I've already spent, honestly, I've already spent like £1.5–2 grand on the app to get it developed, the hosting, the app and all that. So I don't know if I can justify that. But I'd love to have it. I would. I've tweeted a couple times about it. Does anyone know how the price change algorithm works roughly? I know it's a mystery, but you can kind of roughly calculate when changes will happen. Euphoria says, Anana from Villa at 5.1 seems like great value. I think with Anana, people are looking at his returns rather than the eye test or his underlying stats or anything. He won't sustain it, in my opinion. Because he's a defensive-minded player. Like, he does get forward, but he's the defensive player in the team. And although he hasn't returned, Rodgers is passing the eye test. And he's the same price. And, he's playing just in behind Watkins. So I would much rather have Rodgers despite the blanks. Basically, give me a player that's got good underlying numbers, passing the eye test, that's blanked, 4 games in a row, as opposed to a player that's had a massive overperformance. It might sound counterintuitive, but that's how I play FPL. Because you can't keep overperforming forever. And I've made the mistake before. Like, who remembers Almiron's purple streak? Purple patch of form. I got in there a bit too late. I think I only got like one of his goals, but the underlying numbers weren't there. And unsurprisingly, he completely dropped off because it wasn't sustainable. And Boozy says, who else has activated the wildcard? There's still wildcard poll. I know quite a few of you did use it over the international break. Is your wildcard active? Yes, used it. We'll go yes, used it, and saving it for later. Get your votes in. Pedro Welbeck. It's a difficult one because ordinarily, definitely João Pedro. He's been playing more minutes. He should be on penalties. But obviously, he did travel to Brazil over the break. He played on Wednesday, I think it was. So he got back really late because it was a long trip back from South America. There wasn't direct flights and all this. Some people in the FPL community properly worked it all out, the routes back and everything. So I think he had to fly to like Manchester or something, and then Manchester to Brighton, then Brighton obviously back home. So he's done a lot of travelling, but he did only play 45 minutes. So my gut feeling is he still starts. So I'd say João Pedro because of that penalties factor. But if you're going to wildcard Game Week 6, I think Welbeck's perfectly sound as a 2-week pick as well. But yeah, I went João Pedro, but it was quite unlucky. So I transferred João Pedro a bit early. I don't normally go early, especially in international breaks. But it was going to be like a 0.3 or 4 mil price swing. So I did that early because João Pedro wasn't originally called up. But there's another Brazilian player called Pedro who got injured. And then João Pedro got the late call-up. Yeah, it would have been on a private jet, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he just got some sleep the whole way back. But it's still a lot of travelling. It was like 18 hours is the quickest way back for him. I'm sure I read that. People worked out the routes back, and there was no direct flights. So even on a private jet, it's like 18 hours of travelling. So he probably gets only one training session, but I guess he did that yesterday. I've got a quote actually. I've got the full quote from I think it's Herzler that said it. So he said, I think we have a great medical department who will do everything for the regeneration of the players. Also the players themselves, they're professional enough to know what they have to do to be fully recovered for Saturday. Of course, they can't train today with the team, but they will be back on the training ground. And then it's about giving them a good recovery. And hopefully they can train tomorrow. And then, of course, they'll be part of the squad. So I think it's generally a positive quote. He's saying these players know what they need to do to be in the team for Saturday's game. Marcus says, João Pedro watched the Green Mile, Trading Places and Titanic on the plane back. You would have had time for about another 10 movies as well if it was actually 18 hours. I think I saw a super chat there. Let me just quickly get to that. It was from Samuel. He said he's got midfield of Saka, Rodgers, Minte, Eze and Salah. And he's got Pedro, Jackson, Haaland up top. Who do I bench? Oof. So you start Saka, you start Eze, you start Salah, you start Haaland obviously. I'd start João Pedro. So I think it has to be Jackson or Minte, and I think I'd go Jackson, Mente should start, but I don't know if he's 100% nailed. He should start. Seems mad to bench him against the promoted team, but I think I'd go Jackson just to avoid that risk. So yeah, I'd bench Minte out of all of those, and obviously start Salah. So yeah, I think it'd have to be Minte by process of elimination. All good picks though. Are you on a wildcard, Samuel? Stevie Boy says Porre or Gabriel to start one. This one's really close as well. I would say Gabriel just about, but it's very, very close. I think realistically both teams score. Senor Lump says, morning Oscar, wish you a good game, love you. Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, to be honest, I think Gabriel and Pedro probably could both concede, but I mean, Arsenal will be likely to keep a clean sheet, I would say, but Pedro's likely to get an attack in return than Gabriel, obviously. Is Palmer playing? Yeah, Palmer's been training, so I would be very confident that he will start, yeah. I think it's one of those international break injuries, and he's actually fine. Don't know if Watkins was the same, but he's available for selection as well. Will Haaland be benched? And Fikri says Haaland won't be playing. I mean, I think he will play. I think he will play. If anyone missed it, over the international break, one of his family friends passed away, and he still played for Norway, and he was like noticeably emotional during the game, so he played through that anyway. Pep was asked about it, and he said, following the family bereavement, we'll see tomorrow if he's able mentally and physically to play. And then Haaland, to be fair, he did post this on Instagram, which, I mean, suggests that he might just, you know, play on through it. I mean, everyone's different with how they react to this stuff. He played, as I say, for Norway, and I think there's a good chance that he plays this match as well. And obviously there was last season where people were wondering if he wasn't going to play, because I think it was his grandmother that passed away last season, and people were talking about, you know, like when the funeral is going to be before the deadline or something like that, and will he need time off? And he played then anyway, so I'd be guessing, but my feeling is that he will play. And obviously, aside from all that, he's going to be so motivated by the opportunity to get the hat-trick of hat-tricks, which has never happened in Premier League history, 3 in a row. It's been 78 years since that happened. 78 years, as a Titanic reference, Marcus, almost. It's been 78 years since someone got 3 hat-tricks in 3 games in the top flight of English football. So it really is like an opportunity for some record that probably could take another 78 for someone to break. So I mean, I just think he'll start. I'd be so surprised. But also they play at 3 o'clock today, so I mean, there's a good chance we get leaks anyway. And obviously anything we get from any of the teams, I'll put in the bottom left corner of your screen where it says starts or benched. That widget is just basically all the reliable leaks in terms of who we hear is starting, who we hear is benched. So I'll put anything that we hear in there anyway. So 27% have the wildcard active, 11% have used it already, 63% saving it for later. Interesting, so about 1 in 4 of you are on an active wildcard. Wildcard lad. Oh, sorry, Connor. He says start 2 out of Robinson, Smith Rowe and Rogers. And where's the tattoo lad? I did the tattoo. I actually showed it earlier in the stream. There's the tattoo. Got it on the ankle, Connor. I'll start Rogers, so it's between Smith Rowe and Robinson. I think Fulham probably concede, so I'd go Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe and Rogers, so bench Robinson. Is Solanke available? Yeah, I'll show you the full quote and what Postecoglou said on that. So on Van de Ven and Solanke, they've both returned to training and they're on course to be available. He said we'll still have 2 days to go with those guys, so hopefully they get through training okay and they are available. Presume there's a doubt Richarlison's out. So yeah, it sounds like he'll definitely be in the squad. Good chance of starting even. And obviously Richarlison's out, so I suppose that helps his cause as well. Starboy McGee says, how are you, Oscar? I saw your app is now on Android. It is, yeah. Sorry it came later on Android. I can't say how frustrating Google have been. The app was ready to go before Game Week 1, but they've got all these ridiculous rules where you have to find 20 testers over a 2-week period. So that completely pushed it back, and then they have to like review it, sign it off. It's such a painful process, but yeah, it is on Android as well now. So if anyone wants to get it, search FPL Focal in the App Store. There's a link in the description as well. Completely free. You can check your live rank, live bonus points, fixture ticker tool. You can check the Players League. Trent's doing the best at the moment. Trent's 129k. Somehow he knew about Erdegaard's injury. Last game week he went Erdegaard to Gordon, and he went Ings to João Pedro. A couple of nice moves there. Anthony from Bournemouth, 204k. Conor Bradley's 492k. He sold Quansah. I saw he went down last night. Actually, what were the price changes? Let's have a look at all of them. Price changes. So he went up. Only Digne, Mitoma and Luis Diaz went up. Loads of fallers. Erdegaard. Quansah. I've still got him. Painful. The thing is though, right? The thing is, if I'd sold him when everyone was selling him, then I'd be taking a -4 this week. Or I'd be avoiding the -4 and keeping, to be fair, it could end up being the wrong thing, but I wouldn't have taken the -4 this week otherwise. I would have kept Isak and Bruno. And obviously Isak and Bruno could smash it, so maybe if I can roll back the time I should have sold Quansah before that price drop a few weeks ago, but yeah, it's interesting, the butterfly effect, isn't it, or things like that. Because not selling Quansah could actually end up gaining me lots of points. Because I wouldn't have Salah, I wouldn't have João Pedro this week. But also it could go the opposite way. And that one decision could have a mad knock-on effect where I've missed points on the Quansah replacement. And I've missed out on Isak and Bruno's points. So yeah, we'll have to see. It really boils down to this week. And I had a gut feeling I'd need those 2 transfers. So that's why I just ended up riding it out. Plus, I went for Dunk over Barco, which definitely helped. If I'd gone for Barker, I would have to have sold Quansah, but I had Dunk, so I knew I'd be able to just ride it out. So I've taken a couple of price falls on the chin there, but we'll see what happens this week. Hopefully that patience is rewarded, but in FPL, it sometimes isn't. Best midfielder under 5.5 mil. For under, I think it has to be Rodgers. Semenyo's great, but I think he's 5.6. Archie says, hey mate, are there only 4 mil keepers that will get minutes? No, none that will get minutes. None that will get minutes. Unfortunately for us. I mean, there's some that could get a sniff if the first choice has a stinker. Like if Flecken has a bunch of bad games in a row, maybe Valdemarson gets a chance, but... Ryan says 4.5 down to 4.2 is brutal for Quansah owners. I sold him as soon as he went down in price the first time. Yeah, I do understand it. I just felt like I'd need those 2 transfers, and as it's played out, I have needed them. And that's allowed me to get Saka, Haaland and Salah in my team, which I feel is quite a nice edge. I don't think many teams will have those 3, unless they're on the wild card maybe. Andreas is a nice sleeper pick for 5.5 mil. Yeah, he's due a return. He's on set pieces. Might be on penalties as well. Palmer, Conser or Vardiol. Oh, you got to start Palmer. Well, I mean, what are you doing spending like 10.5 mil on Palmer if you won't start him? In order, I'd say Palmer, then Vardiol, and then Conser. Obviously, the other Man City quote there was that Ake's out until after the next international break. So if you've got Vardiol, his expected minutes will go up as well. So he's looking a definite hold for the time being. Best Erdegaard replacement. I'd say Eze. It's not a great entry point for Mbumo, but he is on set pieces, he's on penalties. He could definitely get something in these next 2, and then the fixtures are amazing. So I'm actually looking to buy him from Game Week 6. I'll just kind of walk through what my loose plan is. So Game Week, if I can roll Game Week 5, which hopefully I can, in Game Week 6 I'll have 2 free transfers, and that's where I can go Salah to Mbumo, Cannon to Havertz, So then I'll have 8 attackers. So I've got flexibility in terms of who to bench. So I suppose I'd bench João Pedro because he's away at Chelsea, but that's not necessarily a bad fixture. Maybe I'd bench Smith Rowe. And I'd have about 2.1 mil there as well. So I could finally get rid of Quansah. And he could go to someone like Gabriel. I don't know if I'd do that for a -4. I could just do it in game week 7 for free, but we'll see. So that's kind of my loose plan for the next few weeks. So basically, if I do that, I've picked Salah for 2 weeks. But as I say, game week 5 is the really important one because I don't want to captain Haaland against Arsenal. Really, he could definitely haul against them in terms of his current form and how good he looks this season. But in theory, Salah home to Bournemouth is better, so it was that as well. Sell Salah, are you mad? In theory, Havertz and Bumo should outscore Salah and whoever I'm forced to play. And it gets me 8 attackers, which I think is going to be important when we get to the busier period. Because Champions League's back now, we've got the League Cup starting. So the ideal position I think people should be working towards is to have 8 playable attackers. And the good thing is we've got some cheap picks that make that doable. Like you've got Rodgers, you've got João Pedro. They're not eating up loads of your budget if you have to bench them here and there. But these fixtures aren't even necessarily bad for João Pedro. Like Chelsea away, Spurs home, Newcastle away. That's not that bad. Like you could even start him in all of those. But if you can, I would aim to have 8 attackers. Because you just never know when someone's going to get injured. And when the fixtures get difficult, like Smith Rowe, he's got Man City there. Don't want to start him for that. And he's got Villa after that. Don't want to start him for that either. Ideally, I'd probably want to sell him around then, but I might not be able to. But having 8 attackers gives me that flexibility. Sam Bonsbone says, love the new stream layout, Focal. Yeah, thanks very much. Don't know if you guys noticed, but I did redo the entire look on FPL.page to kind of match the stream, which felt like a good idea for consistency. It's not loaded yet. So yeah, these widgets all kind of match the stream layout. So yeah, a nice bit of consistency, I suppose, is never a bad thing. Starboy McGee, thanks for the 14 months. He says, how are you, Oscar? Saw your... Oh, I did that one already. Senor Lump says, should I get a Focal tattoo? Also, Diaz or Jota? Yeah, do it, mate. Send us a photo. I'll retweet it. It's not advisable. If you're going to get it, don't get it somewhere super visible. Get it on the ankle. Get it on your other ankle. I've got it on my left ankle. You get it on your right one. How about that? Oh, dear. What were you asking? Is Diaz or Jota? Yeah, I was talking about this one in yesterday's video. Didn't you ask it on that video? I'm sure I answered your question on yesterday's video about them. Well, so it's tricky because Diaz was involved over the break, and I think he played on Tuesday or Wednesday in South America and against Argentina of all teams as well. He played 180 minutes. Jota played 90 in their final friendly, but 2 days more rest. So I think it's going to be unchanged in a nutshell. Unchanged team. So I'd say Jota, but it's very close this week. Just because of that recovery period, I suppose this week Jota makes slightly more sense, and he's played less minutes and an extra 2 days rest. John says you've got hairy legs. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Cat Gamer says, what are you going to do when you get 300,000 subscribers? Any suggestions? Ideally, suggestions that I can read out. I know what you lot are like. I don't know if I'll do something for 300,000, but maybe I will. But suggestions welcomed, within reason. Scott, thanks for the super chat. He says, Bruno or Saka to Eze funds a move to Salah next week. Which will you sell this week? I wouldn't sell either this week, really. If I had to pick one, I'd say Saka, but I'd probably not. I feel like it's a bit sideways this week to go Saka to Eze. I would leave it a week, Scott. That extra roll transfer, you never know. You might need that for something even more important. You might get to next week, Salah's hauled against Spurs, and you might think, well, I want him from Game Week 6 anyway, so I'll just play him against City. And Bruno's got Southampton, so I wouldn't do that move. For me, I think the only case you can make for selling Bruno or Saka is if it's for Salah. Otherwise, I just think it's probably too sideways this week. So, yeah, keep the transfer, Scott. I know it's an amazing fixture for Eze, don't get me wrong, but when it's that sideways, is it really worth the transfer? Ishkan says, do you think Rashford's going to do something this game week? I mean, it's possible, but is he 100% going to start? Probably 75% likely. Would it be Ahmad on the right, Garnacho on the bench, perhaps? Alright, there's a good chance that Man United put a few past Southampton. They have to, like, given how they start this season, they need a convincing win. So yeah, he definitely could. Alright, what were the suggestions? Oh god. Tattoo on the other ankle. Can't read that. Can't read that one. FPL imprinted onto your brain. How does that work? Can't read that one. Alright, that's not bad. I've got one suggestion that I could read out without getting demonetized. Can't read that one. Bungee jump? Yeah. Don't know how I feel about bungee jump. Do we think Kwanzaa starts? Probably doesn't, to be honest. I hate to say it. Probably doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it's an unchanged Liverpool team, but we'll see. Show us the tattoo. There it is. I'm not getting my leg out on the stream again. I did that at the start of the stream. I'm not getting my leg out again. Or my ankle. Ankle reveal. Get waxed. Maybe I should make a short actually. I did record some clips as I was going to get it. So maybe I'll make a short after this stream and just upload that. Because I've got footage of him doing it and like me walking in there and so on. Right. The Flisk, thanks for 28 months. He says, nice tattoo, mate. What's the next milestone tattoo? Good question. I don't know. I don't know if I'll get another one. Don't know if I'll get another tattoo. I feel like that was a one-off. It's got to be something unique each time, hasn't it? For each milestone. Wait, do I have to get one every milestone? I didn't do anything for 100k, as far as I remember. Homesonic says, what's up, Focal? How you doing? I'm very good. I'm just happy, like, FPL's back. I'm just glad the international break's over. I hate international breaks. Everything grinds to a halt. There's not much to talk about. The Nations League is just uninteresting to me personally. Nothing beats FPL, so yeah, I'm in a good mood today. I'm glad to have FPL back. I'm guessing most people will share that sentiment as well. It's good to have FPL back. And on top of that, we've got 8 games today, so it should be a sick day of FPL. 8 games. A lot of points to be had today. So yeah, if anyone's late to the stream or doesn't know what I've done, I sold Isak and Bruno to Salah and João Pedro. There's definitely potential for like Isak to haul. They don't see. He was interviewed after the Sweden game, and the interviewer said, "A lot of people are selling you on FPL. Should be captaining you this week." And he was like, "Nah, don't captain me. I prefer it when I go and get a brace when people have sold me. That's better for me." So we've been warned. Like Isak could get a brace this week. Wouldn't be that surprising, would it? And obviously Bruno's got Southampton, so that could go wrong as well. But on paper, Salah and João Pedro is an upgrade for the next 2. How are we doing, FPL Apprentice? Journey to 10k. Get that tattooed on my wrist. The focal thumbs up emoji. Surely not. Yeah, and as Racing says, he scored 3 goals over the break, so a brace in one and one in the other, I think it was. Lovey Fernandez says, are you looking to hop on Champions League Fantasy? I'm undecided, actually. I'm not sure. I might give it a go, but I won't do any content, perhaps. Or maybe like just a Game Week 1 team selection and then nothing after that. Don't know yet. I did okay last season. I think I was like 38k or something. But I don't, to be honest, I don't know enough about all the other teams in Europe. Like I know plenty about the Premier League and FPL, but I couldn't tell you much about all the various teams involved in the Champions League. Please do a Champions League fantasy video. Alright, maybe I will. When does it start? Is it this next week, is it? Do any of you... let's do a poll, actually. I'm interested to know how many of you actually play Champions League fantasy. Let's get a poll up on that. Poll is up. Get your votes in. X2 or times2 Cosmic. He says, who would you have on a wild card? I would have João Pedro, Haaland. It actually wouldn't be far off this. I did a wild card video over the break, and I'd have João Pedro, Haaland, Salah. I had Eze, I had Rodgers, I had Palmer, I had Robertson, Konsa, Dunk. I think I had Henderson in goal. What was the bench? I had Gabriel on the bench. And then the plan with that was to go Salah to Saka in Game Week 6. And then spend the other transfer on... who was it? I think I had Minte. And then I'd go Minte to Mbumo. So Salah to Saka, Minte to Mbumo, Game Week 6. And then you roll in Game Week 5. The alternative is you... what was it? You don't have Palmer, so you have Haaland and Salah. You don't have Palmer, and instead you just spread that money around, so you have Trent and Robertson at the back. Because if you go Haaland, Salah and Palmer, you have to have Robertson. Kills too much money otherwise. Oh, interesting. So only about a quarter of you play Champions League fantasy. So yeah, definitely not as popular. It is different as well. There are different rules. You have to understand as well if you're playing it. Like, you can make substitutions during game weeks. So like, you start your players that play first, and then if they blank, you sub someone off your bench. So it does require more maintenance as well. So some like that more, some like that less. I don't think they'll ever do it in FPL. I'm sure some people would love it. Like, it'd probably be a good thing for us engaged managers, but a lot of people just want to pick their team and just leave it for the weekend, which is totally fair. Like, if they changed FPL where you're having to make subs throughout the game, I think the amount of people playing it would probably drop. Because right now it is designed pretty perfectly, where it kind of suits everyone to a degree. Would you guys like that if you could sub players mid-game week off your bench? Like how FPL Challenge was working last season. I don't know if it works the same this season. And you can change captaincy as well, obviously, in Challenge. I don't know if you can this season, but definitely last season you could as well. How are we doing, Beardy? Anana or Rodgers? Rodgers. Who to play, Rodgers or Adama? Rodgers. Virtual says it's perfect as it is. Clean sheet odds. Yeah, here's the clean sheet odds for Game Week 4. So Liverpool and City tied at the top this week, both 47%. Brighton in third, 44.5%. Then it's Villa, 42%. Palace. So this week I've got Trent, Dunk, Konsa, and Henderson. So four of the top five. This is where none of them keep a clean sheet. Is Palmer playing? Yeah, he's been in training, so yeah, I am fully expecting him to start. Let us know in chat, how many players have you got from the scout selection this week? Here's the team they've gone with. Scout selection is Verbruggen in goal. It's Trent, Lewis, Powell, back three. Salah, Palmer, Eze, Rodgers, Haaland, Muniz, and Welbeck. How many have you guys got? So I've got Trent, Salah, Eze, Rodgers, Haaland. Just five? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just five for me. You've got 6. 1, 3, 5. Pontus has got 5. Virtual's got 7. Looking good. 7. Flanley's got 3. Marcus has got 7. Razor Con says just 4, but he actually likes his team way more than that one. If I was doing the scout selection, I would have just gone João Pedro and Welbeck. Okay, it's a 1 week thing. Why not? But yeah, decent team, I'd say. I feel like Lewis is going to frustrate everyone at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen. But I just feel like he's due a random benching for Walker. He's such a great pick, but I wouldn't pick him unless I had at least 3 other players in my back 5 that I could count on to start, just in case it becomes a problem. But maybe this is his breakout season and he starts the majority of games. Like, Walker's not getting any younger. I just feel like at some point there's going to be a random benching. Hopefully not. For those of you that have Lewis, he's a great pick and he's been unbelievable this season. But we know what Pep's like. It's too good to be true. If it looks too good to be true, a 4.5 mil or 4.7 mil Man City defender with attacking threat, then it's got to be too good to be true. Surely. Can we see the tattoo? This is it, Harry. I'm not getting my ankle out on the stream again. I'm not flexible enough. I had my leg in the air earlier. No one wants to see that. There it is. In its glory on the ankle. Yeah, I got it, Joel. That's the tattoo. I'm a man of my word. If nothing else, I got it done. Start 2, Semenyo, Vardy or Minte. I'd go Semenyo and Minte. F for foot. Send your lump tattoo at 300k. Do it, mate. Do it. The channel FPL Across the Pod said they'll get the Focal logo when they get 100 subscribers. So if you want them to get the Focal logo tattooed, then I'll chuck their channel in the chat. How many are they on now? They were on 9, like yesterday. They're on 60 now. If you guys want to get them to 100 subscribers, he's going to get the Focal logo tattooed as well. Is that, as I was saying earlier, I actually watched their pod and it's actually good content. Like, it's time stamped. The two guys have good insight. They're well spoken. They knew their stuff. So yeah, it was surprisingly good content as well. So check them out. And they're 40 subscribers off getting the tattoo. If you want to see them do that, I'll be sure to tweet about it on Twitter so you don't miss it if/when they get it. What's it on now? 75. Oh my god, should we get him there during the stream? Come on, let's make it happen during the stream. He's 25 off getting the tattoo. I don't know if he's watching, but when I tweeted yesterday saying I'll be live this morning, he said we'll be there. I don't think he's here, or he would have said something in chat. How many is he off now? 93. Oh my god. He's 7 subscribers off getting the Focal logo tattooed. Is it 100? Oh my word. Let me DM him. Oh dear. But honestly, watch their content as well. It's actually good. I think it's a new channel. Because they were on 9 subscribers when they said it, but now they're on 109. This is a cult. I think it's also like good to support newer channels as well. Like, we do raids after most Deadline streams as well, because I'm genuinely all about supporting all channels. So I'm glad to help them out as well. And I did DM him like, I won't promote your channel if you're like not serious or having a change of heart. And he was like, nah, I love your content and my girlfriend's gonna kill me, but I will do it. So anyway, we'll see. Maybe they won't do it, but he said he would. Someone's girlfriend's gonna be happy. Oscar, your power traverses continents. Sorry, let me catch up on super chats. I think Benny sent one. So Benny said Henderson, Trent, Vardy or Dunk, Rodgers, Jota, Eze, Smith-Rowe, Muniz, Haaland, Isak. His bench is Gordon, Robinson, Mikalenko. He's got 1 free transfer, 3.5 mil. And he's looking at it going Gordon and Isak to Salah and João Pedro. Oh, yeah, the thing is, like, it really could go 2 ways. Like, if Newcastle finally turn it on, this one could really hurt you. But if it was me, I'd be really tempted to do that. Because Newcastle haven't impressed me so far after 3 weeks. It is still early, but The other thing is, you've got Salah as your captain in Game Week 5 when Haaland's facing Arsenal. And if there's that 5% chance that Haaland doesn't play, then you have Salah as your vice. Unless you think he's actually the best captain. We'll do a captain poll in a minute. I'd be really tempted to do that, you know. The thing is, you could do it for free next week, but I think buying Salah now is also like a rank protection play. I mean, what's his ownership now? It's probably even higher by now, 44.8. The patient manager in me says I wouldn't take the hit, but the manager in me that says you can protect yourself from Salah's damage says it's worth it. But does João Pedro and Salah outscore Gordon and Isak by 4 points? I'd like to think they would. I don't know if I'd do it, just because of João Pedro being called up on the international break as well. I think the smart play is to wait till next week and do that for free. If it was me, I think I would probably wait a week. If I had 2 free transfers, easiest decision ever. For a -4, I think I'd just about leave it a week. But obviously, if you just don't want to like expose yourself to going no Salah, then do it. But it's going to cost you 4 points. That's the problem. I think I'd leave it a week. I hate to say it as well because I've sold Isak and it wouldn't surprise me if he does well this week. But for a -4, I think the sensible thing is not to do it this week and do it next week for free. A lot in your mini league don't have Salah anyway. Well, that's good as well. That helps a lot. Novus, thanks for the 23 months. 2 years next month. He says, will Hall play? Eze, João Pedro, Isak, Saka, Gordon, vice captain. I'll be honest, I don't think he will. It's very hard to predict now, but I wouldn't be surprised if Howe uses the same back line. So yeah, I wouldn't count on him. I think you have to cut your losses. I wouldn't count on him starting, to be honest with you. In terms of vice captain, Eze. Eze vice captain. Start Muniz or Murphy. Muniz. Not 100% Murphy starts, AB. It could be Barnes and Gordon. I think that's probably likely the Murphy, if I'm honest. Madueke or Eze for Erdegaard. Eze, Austin. 100% Eze. Should I start Palmer? I'm on a wild card. Definitely start him. 100%. Have you wildcarded or not yet? No, not yet. Still got my wildcard. Still got it. That said, this team, to be fair, doesn't look far off a wildcard, does it? But I have spent 2 transfers, so I've got none now. Amir says boxer meet canvas. Absolute tune. What a belter. Yeah, the only mistake, the only thing I regret really is Quansah this season so far. I've been really happy with my team the first few weeks, but the points dodging's been a bit unbelievable from a few players, especially Bruno, who's probably going to haul this week. How we doing, Mac? Morning, Jonas. Thoughts on Digne? Don't get me started on Digne. Honestly, he's like... Are there any players that you guys have sworn never to go back to? Thanks, Slaughter. Morning, mate. Are there any players that you've sworn you'll never buy again? Like Reece James, I know is a popular one. So for me, Digne, some backstory. A couple of years ago, I started with him in Game Week 1, when not many were looking at him. And it might have even been Game Week 1 or 2. It was like the 88th minute. Digne was on a clean sheet, he was on for bonus, and then he scores an own goal to wipe his own clean sheet, wipe his own bonus, so you get the negative points for the own goal, you lose the 4 points from the own goals, wiping his own clean sheet, and you lose the bonus points. And he didn't do anything after that either, really. So I'm never getting Digne again. Maybe that'll cost me, but also at the back of my head, Matsson's an option left back, so Will Digne can carry on playing every single game? What's the plan around Champions League and the other cups? Day 76 of calling Focal Smexy Geezer. Thanks, Will. We'll end that poll. So 75% don't play Champions League fantasy. How about Minte? I think Minte is a really good pick. He's just not completely nailed. That's the only thing. I think 75% chance of starting. Probably comes off early. FPL Addict in the chat. How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Bench 2 out of Bumo, Rogers, Solanke and Porro. I'd bench Porro and probably has to be Solanke, just in case he doesn't start. If I knew they were both starting, I'd say bench Bumo, but I think you play it safe for the minutes and just start Bumo. Bench Solanke and Porro. Foden, asked Sam. Yeah, Foden's back in training. I wouldn't go there just yet, really. I want to see him starting games. I mean, look at the fixtures from Game Week 7. Fulham, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton. And he's like 6% owned. I think the Foden pick can wait a few weeks. Maybe a bit risky. He probably will start against Brentford, but I think you can afford to wait. FPL1, thanks for the super chat. He says, hi Oscar, Gabriel to Robbo with a free transfer, or Isak and Saka to Welbeck and Salah for a -4 hit, or Garnacho and Saka to Salah and Winks. I'd be tempted to just wait a week and do it in game week. Do it in game week 5, to be honest. Because the problem with Gabriel to Robbo is then you've blocked yourself from getting Salah for free next week as well. Even though it's a good move this week, if you see what I mean. And I'd much rather have Salah next week, because then you captain him against Bournemouth. But let's not forget how heavily he'll be captained next week. A lot of people are going to be going for Salah over Haaland. A lot of people are going to be buying Salah. And you're just pushing a -4 hit back a week. So I'd be tempted to just leave it a week and do it next week, if it was me. Yeah, it's one of those. I think a really popular combination move, a lot of people are doing this week, is Isak and Saka to João Pedro and Salah. And it does make a lot of sense, but it does have potential to backfire. It's not like you're selling bad players. Like Saka's returned in every game. Isak's got, what, 2 returns in 3? So it's one of those. I think I'd do it for free. I wouldn't do it for a -4 unless you're just desperate to cover yourself from Salah and his ownership. But I'd rather do it for free in Game Week 5 if I was in that situation. I didn't sell Quansah all those weeks ago when he came off at half-time and wasn't starting, because I knew at some point I'd need those 2 free transfers, and that's finally come around. So the 2 moves I've made is for free, Salah and João Pedro in. I don't think I would have done it for a -4 if I only had 1 move. Greg says, who would you predict more points this week, Palmer or Watkins? I'd go Palmer. These are the top projections on FPL Review. I took this screenshot this morning. The minutes are probably a bit low on Palmer, so he's not even here. Watkins isn't either, because obviously he missed international break. But look how tight it is at the top. Haaland 7.9 points, Salah 7.8. Eze's in third, 6.2. De Bruyne 6. Bruno's up there. Saka, Isak, João Pedro. So yeah, in terms of like João Pedro to Isak, it's a 0.3 loss that I've got there, but then I've got a gain on Bruno to Salah, which is what, 1.9 gain. Thanks, Yash. Is Salah playing? Yeah, of course he'll play. Morning, Flames. How we doing? Drink some water, Focal. Stay hydrated. I've just got a cup of tea this morning. There we go. Gordon to Eze or hold. Yeah, I like Gordon to Eze. That's a good move. I think Eze's crazy value for 6.9. And he's home to Leicester. He could be 7 mil by Monday, Tuesday if he returns again this game week. Only Semenyo's taken more shots this season than Eze. Eze has even taken more shots than Haaland. That's how good he's been. He's on free kicks, corners, penalties. Start one, Smith Rowe, Rodgers. I'd start Rodgers between those two. Dunk for Munoz. No, I wouldn't sell Munoz. Don't sell him before Leicester at home. Keep Munoz for a week. What to do with Vardy? Keep Vardy as well. Ake went off injured over the international break. He was stretchered. He's out till the next international break. So there's even less competition now for Vardy's spot. Team news. I've added a widget on the left map with the team news. And then the other bit of news is... No, it's all there, I think. Yeah. I mean, I've got a few quotes screenshotted for like more context, like on João Pedro, on Haaland and Solanke. If anyone wants to know about any of them. Right, guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer this game week? Those of you that very bravely guessed Salah were correct back in game week 3. It was Salah with his 17-pointer. Get your guesses in. Top scorer this week. I'm going to go... I'll go Eze. Palmer? Isak? Oh, what's all these Isak guesses? Don't say that, I've just sold him. Isak, Eze, Salah. Salah again. That'd be 3 and 4 game weeks. Palmer, Bruno. Don't say Bruno either. I've just sold him as well. For Salah, to be fair. Flame says Salah again. Marcus says Bruno, now I've sold him. It'd be peak FPL Marcus. It wouldn't be surprising, would it? Watkins. Now that would be an interesting development if it's Watkins. Because no one's really... Those that don't have him aren't really looking there with their free transfers now. I think people are looking at Haaland, João Pedro or Welbeck, and people are looking at Havertz from Game Week 6. But that would make it interesting if it's Watkins, definitely. Jota, Konsa. Imagine if it's Konsa, Callum. How do you feel about Trossard? Yeah, my best guess is he will start up top this week. Because we've got Ødegaard injured. I mean, weirdly, Arteta didn't rule him out in his press conference, but there were reports that he's out for 3 weeks. So, I don't know. I feel like it's just Arteta giving nothing away like he does. And Rice is out, so we could see Partey, Jorginho, and Havertz in midfield. Trossard up top, Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, and then Sterling comes on probably for Martinelli, or Martinelli could go up top and Trossard comes off. But yeah, we'll probably see Sterling in an Arsenal shirt for the first time this game, given the injuries. Unless Jesus is back, I'm not sure if he is. Then then it could be him up top, to be fair. But I wouldn't buy Trossard anyway. Long answer to that question, but yeah, I wouldn't buy him. FCH Sean, thanks for the 23 months, 2 years next month. He says, morning Focal, have you showed off your new tat yet? I have, yeah, here's the tattoo in all its glory. I might make a little short and I should post it on my channel after the stream. So I got a few clips like on my trip there, getting it done and so on. And I had Vardy's tattoo artist of all people. He tattooed like Vardy, Schlupp, Wes Morgan, and he showed me photos on his phone, tattooing footballers, and he was in the newspaper. So that was a bit of a crazy coincidence. What was also really funny, the guy next to me was getting his entire back done. And yeah, I had to fill out this form right when I arrived, just to like, I don't know, give them permission in case I die or whatever. And you have to put your job role, so I was like, YouTuber. And then the lady on reception saw that and she was like, you're a YouTuber? What do you make videos on? So then I was like trying to explain football. And the tattoo artist was like, football, a load of garbage. I was like, alright, Jesus. But the guy getting his old back done next to me was like, I play fantasy football. And then he like pulled up my video during the stream, so I could hear him like watching the experts video while he was getting his back done, and I was getting my ankle done. Senior Lump says, I meant you getting a Senior Lump tattoo. I'm not getting, no disrespect, but I'm not getting Senior Lump tattooed on me. at any milestone. What's the deal with Haaland in yellow? Personal reasons, 75% chance of playing. What it was, basically a family friend passed away over the break, and so people were speculating, or not speculating, that Man City said, you know, if he wants compassionate leave, he'll be allowed to take it. Pep was asked about it, and he said, we'll see tomorrow if he's able mentally, physically to play. Haaland did play for Norway over the international break, and I think it happened before that, because he was noticeably emotional in that game, I think after his goal. And Haaland did post this on Instagram as well, which kind of suggests that he doesn't plan to take time off or anything. So he said, you're a legend, Ivo. Words cannot describe how much you meant to me. Words cannot describe how much you'll be missed. I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for everything, you madman. We'll see each other again. Rest in peace. So I don't know. I interpret that message as, you know, he's going to go on and get on with it. That's what he said on Instagram. And obviously, aside from all that, he's going to be highly motivated by this possible hat-trick of hat-tricks, which hasn't happened in the Premier League ever. In terms of the top flight of English football even, it's been 78 years since someone did that. So, I don't know. My personal feeling is he'll start. And he'll probably start or not play at all. So, I'm not worried about captaining him, because in my case, it just defaults to Salah. But that's my personal view, that he starts. And we should also get a leak. I'd be surprised if we don't, because they play at 3 o'clock. Oh, yeah, I asked FPL Tony. He's just replied. He said he will know. So there we go. We'll know anyway. So yeah, bottom left of your screen, that widget that says starts and benched, I'll update that with whatever we get during the stream. And there's bound to be some bits and bobs while we're live. So I'll be checking in the background. Oh, Haaland starts 1 minute ago. Boom, there you go. That's from Lazy FPO actually. So let me update the widget right now. That was kind of weird how that all lined up. He just messaged me and then they just tweeted it. There we go. So that is updated. Haaland starts. And we'll probably get more. So I know some of you have got like Lewis, for example. Maybe some of you still got Foden, De Bruyne. So I'll keep refreshing the background in case we get any more. But that's what we know so far. Yash says, no, just take some rest. Found the Haaland non-owner. Flame says, get a welcome back for another video tattoo on the chest at 1 million. I don't know. I don't know if I could get that even at 1 million. Do you think Jota's going to start? Yeah, I think it'll probably be unchanged for Liverpool is my best guess. And then, yeah, Darwin and Gakpo to possibly be used in the Champions League. That'd be my guess. He doesn't seem to... I mean, I think he remarked in actually in his press conference slot. He said... he implied something like he's not one to rotate much. And he said, that is something I'm going to have to adapt to. Because the demands in the Premier League and English football is so high. And especially when you're juggling the Champions League and the League Cup. The FA Cup obviously starting later. So that was something he alluded to in his press conference. OnlyFans at 300k. Surely not. No one wants to see that. Dark mode for X plus media preview off. I love my eyes. What does that mean? I thought you meant dark mode in the app. I started reading that. I didn't know where that sentence was going. Semenyo over Smith Rowe. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, at this point, I'd say Semenyo is the better pick. Face tattoo at 1 million. LWI says, why don't you do face cam for videos as well? I suppose I suppose it's for like a couple of reasons. Number one, first of all, I don't have to make myself look presentable for every video. Number two, I write up everything I'm going to say for every video. So that every video you watch is technically an article. So I really think about what I want to say in the videos, and I type it all up, and it's normally about 2,000 words. So every video is technically an article in video form. But the trade-off is I'm reading off, so sometimes it doesn't sound as natural as like when I'm talking now. And that means that sometimes I'll read wrong and make mistakes. Whereas if I'm just talking to you like I am now, then it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. Or you're less likely to, I suppose, because you're just saying what comes to you. But when I'm reading off a script, then sometimes I'll like stumble on a word and then I have to read. So I normally have about 10 recordings per video. It's not all in one take. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's like 15, 20 takes, little voice clips, and then I put them all together. So there's that as well. And I guess maybe it's more about the content when I'm not in it, but I've come to realise maybe that's not necessarily a good thing, because some people, when you're watching them on your screen, you can like, I don't know how to put it into words, you can kind of like grow more of a connection with who you're watching if you can see them. So I definitely have thought about it, and like there are trade-offs, but yeah, I think I prefer it how it is now, if that I'm not in my videos. Also, going back to the first point, I don't have to make myself look presentable. I just roll out of bed, hit record. Peter says, why Porro on the bench? Is it worth doing Saka to Salah and Porro to a 4-mil defender for 3 from a nervous non-Salah owner? You're a legend, Focal. Thanks, Peter. Why on the bench? Well, who would I start ahead of him? I mean, who would I bench for him? Sorry, the only one I can think of is Smith Rowe. But I mean, I'd be amazed if Porro keeps a clean sheet against Arsenal. I'd be absolutely amazed. Obviously, he could get an attack in return, but I think Smith Rowe makes slightly more sense. Saka to Salah, Porro to a 4-mil for 3. Yeah, it's just about worth it. I don't know what the rest of your defence is though. Obviously you have to be careful there, that you don't have a defence that could be in trouble the next week. If you had to start the 4-mil defender this week, I'd say it's not worth it. Because what 4-mil defenders would you really want to start? Mosquera looks good in like a few weeks' time. Like, I don't see, Harwood Bellis keeping clean sheets. Who else is there? I don't see Leicester keeping clean sheets like Fass. I mean, he could go for Greaves, but again, I don't know how many Ipswich keep. But if it's on your bench, then I'd do it for 3, yeah. In a nutshell. Just do a quick refresh on leaks. So yeah, just Haaland starts. That's all we've had so far. I'm sure we'll get more like Lewis and, I don't know, Foden, De Bruyne, whatever players you guys have got. Vardiol. I'm expecting them to start. Vardiol definitely. Foden's an interesting one. If we get a leak that he starts and you guys have got that opportunity to go for him, he's like 6% owned. Ismail's wildcarded. He's got Sanchez, Dunk, Trent, Powell, Rodgers, Smith Rowe, Salah, Palmer, Jota, Haaland, João Pedro. On his bench, he's got Keane, Mazraoui. Who's Chormy? Chukwuemeka, is that? Not sure who that is. Chormy. He's got 2 transfers for the future, and he's got 0.3. Any suggestions for now on Game Week 6? Sanchez. I don't know if I'd go Sanchez in goal, personally. I'd rather... I mean, you've got Dunk. I honestly think I'd rather Henderson than Sanchez, but they're pretty close, I suppose. I think I'd have Konsa over Powell, because he can play right centre back where he's first choice. He can play right back. Mings is nearing a return for Villa. Now he might not come in. He might. He plays left centre back, which is Powell's position. So I think I'd prefer Konsa slightly. And he is in the squad, Emery confirmed, and he has trained. So it's not out of the question that he doesn't start. I suppose there is that, but I'd imagine he does. Rodgers, Smith Rowe. I don't know if I'd have Smith Rowe on a wildcard. Probably Semenyo over Smith Rowe at this point. The rest is great though. I don't like Keane. I'd get rid of Keane. Get someone like Greaves. Or Mosquera. I don't like Mazraoui either, personally. But other than that, it's a great team. Just a few little tweaks there. terms of Game Week 6, so you're going to have to get Saka. So in Game Week 6, I'll do Salah to Saka. And then I'd use that 2 mil to upgrade one of the midfielders to Bumo maybe. That works nicely. Just double check you've got the funds to do that. It could be like, I don't know, Semenyo to Bumo, Game Week 6. Or maybe Rodgers if you can afford that, even better. João Pedro, Welbeck, Dunk, or Minte, Matoma and Welbeck, 2-week punt. I prefer the first one. 2-week punt, may as well go for double attack and Dunk. For a 2-week punt, I like that. Let's get the captain poll going then. So Salah, Haaland, we'll just go Salah, Haaland and other. And if you go other, message in chat. Boom, poll is up, get your votes in. No, I haven't been mewing. Is that the thing you do with your jaw, for your jawline? No, I've not. I put on loads of weight over the international break and then I was like really strict and then lost it again. My weight fluctuates so fast, it's a bit mental. Because I had my 2-year anniversary with my girlfriend, but I also had like a birthday meal the day before, so I went out like 2 days in a row and ate really bad. And then I was like 11 stone, 12 pounds. And then a few days later, I was 11 stone, 8 pounds, which is a bit crazy. Or maybe that's normal, I don't know. Does Haaland start? Yeah, bottom left is the leaks widget, so any reliable leaks I just collate and I chuck down in that corner for you guys. That's always updated every stream as and when we get stuff. Oh, maybe it's water weight. Harry says marry her. Maybe. Maybe. How much is that in kilos? I don't know. 11 stone, 8 pounds, 2 kilos. 73? 70, yeah, 73 kilos. Oh, so it's water weight. Oh no, okay, fine, I'll take it back then. I thought I was really good at shifting my weight, but you're telling me it's just water weight this whole time? Propose at 300k. I don't know how she'd feel about me doing it because of that, as opposed to me actually wanting to. I'd be like, hey, I'm not going to say her name. I've hit 300,000 subscribers, so do you want to marry? She'd be like, what? I think it's got to be for a better reason than that, hasn't it? I don't know how happy she is about the tattoo. I sent her a picture, and I was hoping she'd say, "Oh, it looks great," but I think she just gave it like a thumbs up reaction in WhatsApp. So I was like, "Oh no, what have I done?" Captain Watkins, interesting. Sohail says, "Am I stupid for transferring out Bruno?" I think personally, I'd only transfer Bruno out if it's for Salah. I just don't know. I just don't know if there's anyone else that looks worth it this week. I mean, on the projected points, only Haaland. I suppose if you're doing a combination move for Haaland, I mean, De Bruyne's like basically even Eze slightly ahead, so I feel like it's a bit sideways. So, like, I sold Bruno, so but I did sell him for Salah. I feel like that's one of the only cases you can make for selling him before Southampton. Pick a random subscriber as your best man. I don't know about that. The best man's got to give a speech. What would they even say? I've been subscribed to Oscar since 2022, and I'll never forget that time he was rank 1. That's about all you'd be able to say. Any Man United leaks? Not that I've seen. I'll keep checking the background in case there's more, but all we've had so far is that Haaland starts. Toffolo. Oh god, Toffolo, what a throwback. I was so close to greatness. I was that close to greatness that week. Like when Reguilon's... What was it? Yeah, when Reguilon got that red card and they conceded like 2 or maybe it was 4 goals. I was like, this has potential to be the most epic differential swing ever, but in the end, Toffolo got 1 point. But that was still great for me, because Regulon got -3, didn't he? How many of you had Regulon that week? That was the free hit week, wasn't it? Was it game week 19 or something? Or 29? The infamous free hit week where the average was like 13 points. I think most people did have Regulon. So close to greatness. Sam had him but didn't use the free hit. I mean, yeah, the real winners were those that didn't free hit that week. But this season is going to be interesting because there's only going to be 2 expected double game weeks. So, like, when are we going to use all the chips? Plus, we've got the mystery chip to use. So, I mean, it's kind of died down now, but there's still a case for triple captain in a single game week again. So, game week 7, Haaland's home to Fulham. Game week 9, even better, home to Southampton. Obviously, there's going to be cups at either side of these games, I think, so we'll have to check, you know, what the minutes are like around those fixtures and so on. But I can see it still being popular in the coming weeks. I mean, I think lots of people even do it this week. It wouldn't surprise me there's a couple 100,000 triple captains. Will Kwanzaa start? Don't think he will. Ludwig says triple captain Haaland activate. Good luck, Ludwig. Good luck. Hope it works out. Yeah, no leaks really. Just Haaland. Is Haaland going to play? Yeah, Haaland's starting, according to Lazy FPL, so that's what we've had so far. Will Nketiah start? I wouldn't risk the Nketiah transfer, if that's what you mean. Maybe on draft, but Glasner was asked about him, and he said, yeah, he's ready to start. We didn't spend 25 million on him for him not to be starting. So, yeah, we could see Nketiah and Mateta front two. Eze just behind, perhaps. Probably be how they line up if he starts. Yeah, Ramsdale will start as well. Don't troll Illuminate or the mods will get you. Is the triple captain on Haaland now a bad move? I mean, on paper, there's even better fixtures, better opportunities. Like, there's Fulham game week 7. Last season, in that same fixture, he got a hat-trick and an assist against Fulham for a 20-pointer. And then there's Southampton, obviously, who are the real team to target so far. Favourite budget defenders or mids, asks Eddie. I would say, depends how budget you're talking. Like, Conser and Dunk, I think look great for 4.5. Who else? In terms of the 4 mil defenders, I like Greaves. I wouldn't count on playing him any week, but he's probably my favourite 4 mil defender. In terms of mids, Rodgers I still think's good. I wouldn't go for Ahmad over Rodgers. I still think Rodgers is the best 5 mil or 5.1 now. Semenyo's 5.6, I like him. Minte looks alright as a punt for the next 2 weeks, especially if you've got a wildcard game week 6. Should I start Son or Gordon? Really don't know. I think you have to start Son. Like, when you're spending that much money on him, it's got to be Son, hasn't it? What's the reason for the game week 6 wildcard? I'm hoping not to use it, but the reason people are doing it is because these Arsenal fixtures. I mean, you're risking it massively if you go into that without at least one Arsenal attacker. Leicester home, Southampton home, back-to-back home games against newly promoted teams, and then Bournemouth away. So some people are looking to shift some players around. Like, you could sell Salah on your wildcard. Bit risky, but you're not going to go about Haaland, are you? Because look at Haaland's fixtures as well. Fulham, Wolves, Southampton. It'll be difficult, but you might be able to have all 3 in a wildcard. But that's the reason people are doing it. Plus, there's players like Bumo, who has good fixtures from game week 6. So there's some swings there to kind of like jump on, basically. Dunk or Lewis to bring in? Personally, I think Dunk, but it depends what kind of FPL manager you are. Like, Lewis is the riskier, higher upside pick. There's just a chance Walker comes in at some point, basically. Might not happen, but I think it's a genuine chance. I know he's been immense and he's started 3 in a row, but Pep is Pep. Like, I remember his bench players after, like, was it Mahrez that got a hat-trick and then Pep just benched him the next game? Like, you just never know what he's going to do. He's not as bad as he used to be fair. And Lewis is clearly the future of City, but yeah, I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't go for Lewis unless you've got like 3 or 4 other defenders that you can count on if Lewis ends up a mistake. Right, who do we think the most transferred in player is this week then? Most transferred in player. Morning Zelda, thanks for the 15 months. Says hope everything's well. I'm great, yeah, I'm in a good mood today. It's nice to have FPL back. I just hate international breaks, so boring. I personally don't care about the, what's it, the UEFA Nations League. Doesn't interest me, so it's good to have FPL back. We've got 8 games today as well. Diaz, Palmer, Salah, Pedro, Salah. Let's have a look who it is. It is João Pedro, 1.2 million. Holy, 1.1 million they bought Diaz. I didn't realise how much of a rank threat he's become. 1.1 million new owners. Salah 800k. Haaland 775. Anana. Lewis, Welbeck, Mitoma. I like most of these. Robinson. Don't know if now is the right time to buy Robinson. Eze I love. No comment on Digne. Don't get me started on Digne again. Semenyo, Trent. Bumo, interesting. Yeah, I'm really hoping to get Bumo from Game Week 6 if I can. Most transferred out then, let's have a look. Isak, let's update the numbers. 831,000 have sold Isak, 690,000 have sold Watkins. Saka, over 500,000 have sold Saka. I think almost all of those are going Saka to Salah, aren't they? Hands up, who's gone Saka to Salah and Isak to João Pedro? Who's done the template moves this week? Palmer, 520,000 sales. Erdegaard obviously injured. Vardio. Don't know if I'd be selling Vardio like after the Ake injury. Alright, let me just quickly catch up on Super Chats. Bear with me. Only Molly, thanks for the 33 months. Appreciate your support. Thank you. He says Isak and Nkunku to João Pedro and Diaz and planning to wildcard Game Week 6. Would you then start one of Robinson, Porro, Konsa and Munoz? So for 2 weeks, I think those are great moves. Nkunku's got to go. Pedro's a nice way to fund it. Yeah, I would do it. If you can, just make that move in about half an hour, just in case there's any leaks on Liverpool. Don't know if we'll get any, but just in case, so you got the peace of mind. I think he does start, and I think Jota will start. I wouldn't be surprised if it's an unchanged 11. But yeah, for 2 weeks, good moves. Drawing Dead says, doing Saka to Salah. Should the second move be Jota to Minte? Or Isak to Welbeck? I've got João Pedro. Or Porro to a 4 mil. Definitely don't do Porro to a 4 mil. There's no point making a transfer that's for your bench anyway. And he says, thanks Oscar, have a great day. So, to fund it, I wouldn't sell Jota. So yeah, I'd do Isak to Welbeck. Yeah, I like that. Have you still got your wild card? It's even better if you've still got your wild card as well. Because obviously double Brighton attack after the next 2 looks a bit more ropey, but I like those moves. Yeah, I'd do that. Only Molly says, look at my milestone message, you Wally. Alright, sorry, bear with me. I saw it. I get carried away, like, rambling, and then I forget about the super chats. So, sorry about that, and thanks for the super chat, and the 33 months. Only 3 months off 3 years. Zelda with the 15 months says, morning Focal, hope everything's well. I'm very well, thanks. I think I read that one. I must have missed the ones before. Apologies. Nearly there. Is Digne over Konsa a bad move in my wildcard? Also Lewis. Yeah, Digne's got the upside, but I just don't know if I'd risk it on a wildcard. Because, like, will Maatsen come in? Is there any Villa fans in chat? Let us know. Is there any chance of Maatsen coming in? Like, he's got to start at some point, hasn't he? They spent a lot of money on him. What did that say? Watching from the jail, nice stream. Thanks very much. I don't want to know what you're in for. Where's everyone watching from? Anyone else watching from jail? Where are you watching from today? Are you out and about? Are you home in your living room? Any bath watchers, toilets? There's normally a few. Where do we get to? Yeah, so I don't know if I do Digne. But I was saying earlier, he's a player I've sworn never to go back to because he's always frustrated me. If I bought him now, he'd be benched for Maatsen. Lewis is fine on a wild card because you can obviously buy defenders around him that you can play just in case Lewis doesn't work out. That's the only scenario where I'd have him if I've got, you know, a solid defence that I can count on if Lewis becomes a problem, which might or might not happen. Io says, is it risky to go double Liverpool defence? Absolutely not. I think it's very, very good. I wouldn't go Konate. He probably will start today, but if you're going Trent and Robbo, I think that's immense. Definitely. Definitely viable. Catalin says, Amad Diallo to Eze for a -4. For a -4. Yeah, I'd probably do it. I mean, Amad's minutes are low. Eze's on free kicks, he's on penalties. I'd say that's worth it, to be honest with you. You're pruning trees. Watching from Tunisia, Patrick's on the toilet. Watching from the doghouse. Watching from Ghana, on the toilet. I can't read that one. Can't read that one. Currently on the toilet. In custody. On the toilet. Surely this many people aren't on the toilet right now. Cal's on the toilet as well. You're getting a massage in Melbourne. What? Watching from your room. Any Man United leaks? No. No United leaks. Let me have a check if there's been anything while I've been rambling. Thanks everyone that's tuned in, by the way. It's been, I've really enjoyed the stream. It's good to have FPL back. If you have enjoyed the stream, please do hit like and make sure you're subscribing. I'm sure you already know, but I make FPL videos every week. So if you're subscribed, then you get it in your YouTube feed. If you haven't got a YouTube account, go make one. It's free. So the only leak so far is that Haaland starts, which is from Lazy FPL. That's all we've got. I imagine we're going to get some more within the next half hour as we're near the deadline. So, are there any players you guys want to know about? I suppose Lewis is a big one, right? A lot of Lewis owners out there. Watching from the library. Watching while giving a haircut. While giving one, or while giving one. What, have you just got it like open on your phone or something while they're sitting there getting their hair cut? What's going on there? Fair play though. I always thought like in the hair salons people have got the radio on. And nowadays it's an FPL Focal Deadline stream. Love it. Thoughts on Jackson? Yeah, Jackson's great for right now. But for me the problem is I want Havertz in a couple of weeks. So even if I could get to Jackson this week, personally I think I'd rather wait and get Havertz, but if you need a striker then I think he's great. I mean João Pedro I think's even better, and Welbeck obviously, they're both great. I'd say Welbeck and João Pedro are even for the next two, because obviously João Pedro... I'm giving the haircut and my customer's holding the phone. There's no way. There's no shot. Hey, if you're getting your haircut and you're holding the phone for him right now, fair play. You're a good customer. I hope he gives you a 10% off for that. You're watching while skydiving. Watching while playing Rocket League. Hey, I just got back into Rocket League recently. I'll have to set up a lobby again. That was pretty fun that time. We set up like a massive lobby. Just milking a cow. Is that euphemism or what? Play Partey or Robinson? I'd go Robinson, John. Yeah, between those two. Using this as a podcast while at work. Live podcast, here we go. Is Solanke playing? For what we do know is that he's been back in training. Postecoglou said they've returned to training and they're on course to be available. He says, we still have 2 days to go with those guys, so hopefully they get through training okay and they are available. So all being well, they'll start. Richarlison's out as well, which perhaps helps his cause. Do you think Arsenal will win? It's going to be a really interesting one because we're not at full strength. We've got Rice suspended. We've got Ødegaard out. But I think we will. I think both teams score. It could be like a 2-1 type game. Maybe 3-2. What do you guys think? Who wins the North London derby? It's really an interesting one. The injuries would have levelled it out, definitely. I saw actually, let me try and find it real quick. The odds have narrowed. I think Arsenal are still favourites, but the odds have massively narrowed. So those are the odds for the game, and you can see the odds are narrowed. So Arsenal's still favourites, but it's getting closer and closer. You can see that the odds have changed there based on injuries and I guess maybe Solanke being back in training and that sort of thing. Yeah, Ødegaard's vital. There was that stat. Yeah, Jago, I was thinking with Super Brew. I'm not sure. But I might make it a thing we do after the deadline passes. But obviously the downside is then we can't use those predictions to help us. But some people don't care about the predictions at all, and they just switch off when we start doing them. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's something we do as the deadline passes and the game's updating. I did that by accident last game, just because I forgot about it. But maybe we'll do it after the deadline passes. We take slow mode off and it's a free for all. Don't know. Gaming channel soon? Probably not. FPL's time consuming enough, to be honest. You wouldn't think it, but it does take up a lot of time. God, let me catch up on the chat. So, is Nketiah going under the radar? Asked Kenny. Probably not. I mean, I'd like to see him starting regularly, getting lots of minutes before I'd even consider him. I think he's gone down as well. He's like 5.9 mil. Glasner did say like he's ready to start. We didn't buy him to not use him, but very risky move this week, I'd say. Like he's definitely the sort of player he could start this week and bag a hat-trick against Leicester. I remember it happened last season when there were some injuries. Was it Sheffield United? He started home at the Emirates, got a hat-trick. So yeah, I mean maybe, but I'm not considering him. I'd rather João Pedro or Welbeck. Aditya says start two among Konsa, Pedro, Dunk and Robinson. I would start Konsa and Dunk and bench Robinson and Porro. Marcus says, hi boss, you've got 4.9 mil for a defender. Thoughts for the next 5 game weeks? For the next 5, I'd say Konsa. In terms of clean sheet odds this week, I think Brighton are slightly ahead of Villa, but it's close. 44.5 and 42, but obviously Villa have got the better longer term fixtures, so if you haven't got Konsa, I'd say him. I don't know if there's one that will tick the boxes for all of the next 5, but if you can buy, I mean, if you got Konsa and not Dunk, you could buy Dunk and then sort it out from a couple of game weeks down the line when the fixtures turn a bit. Max Sense says, good morning mate, 2 free transfers, Salah and Minte to Bruno and Saka, or Salah and Vista to Saka and Isak. Ooh, that's interesting. You're looking to go the opposite way. Wait. You mean the other way around? Surely you're not selling Salah. You mean, okay, I've got you. You did it back to front. So you mean Bruno and Saka to Salah and Minte, or Saka and Isak to Salah and Vista? If you've still got your wildcard, go with option 1. Otherwise, option 2. It boils down to that, basically. If you've got your wildcard, option 1. Because Minte looks awesome for the next 2 weeks. But his minutes are a bit like, don't know, 100%. Could come off early. There's an outside chance he might not start. but I think he's awesome for the next 2 weeks as a short-term play. So, yeah, do it based on that. Brian says, Focal, who's the most nailed longer-term Brentford defender, please? Probably Collins, I would say, is it? I actually couldn't tell you much about the Brentford defence, but I think Collins. Maybe Pinnock as well. Let's have a look. I mean, Collins has played 90 every game. He's got 2 assists, actually. Pinnock's played 90 every game as well. So, I'd say those 2. And then I think it would be, you know, like one of the others comes in when they play a back 3. Like Van den Berg. Definitely don't buy him. Too risky for 4 mil. I'd probably say Collins, yeah. Stick with my original answer. But I think they were both equally nailed, to be honest. Vignesh says, I've got Salah, Jota, Diaz, Son and Rodgers. Should I transfer Rodgers to Traore or Ahmad? Or to afford Son to Palmer? Or should I keep the same? No, don't sell Rodgers. I wouldn't sell Rodgers. No, I wouldn't do that. Rodgers is better than Traore and Ahmad, basically. So I wouldn't make either of those moves. And Ibby says, Jota or Diaz? Short answer, Jota. But it's honestly pretty much a coin toss this week, I'd say. FPL Challenge. I did my team, but I don't think that many care about it, do they? I think I had Trent, Robbo, Vardiol, Verbruggen, something like that. Alright, let's have a quick check for leaks. Nothing else yet. Just that Haaland starts is all we've heard. Any Haaland news? Yeah, Haaland starts according to Lazy FPL. Where's Ahmad starts come from? I must have missed that one. I haven't seen that anywhere, if that's true. Clean sheet odds. There's the game week 4 clean sheet odds. So Liverpool and City joint top, and then Brighton, then Villa. Watkins or Jackson? Watkins, I'd say, if I had to pick one there. They're both good, but yeah, Watkins just about. From Rob Dawson. I don't know who that is. Fair enough. These are the goal score odds as well. So Haaland, 1.13 projected goals. 68% chance of 1 or more. 31% chance of 2 or more. Salah second. João Pedro's third. Where's Welbeck? Welbeck's a bit further down. I suppose the penalties are a factor. Maybe the minutes. But I wouldn't be surprised if Welbeck gets more minutes this game week because of the international break. But maybe not. We'll see. Jake says, Hall to Consa, Ahmad to Minte, Wildcard Game Week 6. Yeah, I like that. I mean, for the next 2, yeah, Dunk and Consa are very close. I'd actually say Dunk's slightly ahead of Consa for the next 2, if you can, if you haven't got him. But Consa's great for the next 2 as well. And then Wildcard, yeah, nice. Trent, Robbo, Salah, or Trent, Diaz, and Salah. So, yeah, 2 of those 3 are the same. So it's Robertson or Diaz is what you're asking. I think someone else just said that as well. That's what you're asking, essentially. I mean, what you really need to be asking is the other combination players. So Robertson and whoever the midfielder is. Or the defender and Diaz. I don't know who those are. But in isolation, Diaz, I suppose. Yeah, it's a close one. Diaz. They're really close, I'd say, but Diaz. Ahmad or Minte? Minte. I'm not convinced on Ahmad's minutes at all. Like, he does look sharp, but he's coming off early a lot. Didn't he come off pre-60 minutes before as well? That is the last thing you want in an FPL asset. I know the thing is Minte's similar. Like there is a risk, but Minte's been playing more minutes, hasn't he? Eze captain. If I was ranking captains this week, I'd go Haaland, then Salah, then Eze. Porro or Robinson? I'd say Robinson there. Is Bowen an underrated pick? You know what? He could start up top this week as well. So maybe. Fulkrug's picked up an injury. Antonio was playing for Jamaica over the break. So we could see Bowen up top. Though I suppose you can argue that's not always a good thing. Because you could argue he's better playing on the right, coming inside. But yeah, we could see Bowen up top. Saka or Rico Lewis? Saka. Start Hall, Davis or Mikalenko from AB. Definitely wouldn't start Hall. Davis or Mikalenko. Mikalenko. CWL, thanks for the super chat. It says Gordon and Havertz to Palmer and João Pedro. Not sure how I feel about those moves. If you've still got your wild card, it's not bad. I like it if you've still got your wild card. Yeah. Otherwise, the problem is, Game Week 6, when Arsenal have got Leicester and Southampton home, back-to-back fixtures, you're going to have to buy Havertz straight back. Really. Because the only other attacker is Saka. Ødegaard will still be out. You could go double Arsenal defence, that's an option as well. But I just think Havertz is going to be awesome value for wherever he costs by then, 8.1 mil. Yeah, if you still got your wildcard, go for it. It's a nice couple of moves the next 2 weeks, and then you can make a decision on wildcarding or not. Maybe you'll find a way to get back to where you were. But yeah, it's a nice short-term play. Luke Smith says he can't get Haaland yet, so he's pushing the rest of his team. Do you think Luis Diaz is worth getting in now? And Eze for Bruno, plan for Haaland for Game Week 7. I wouldn't sell Bruno, definitely not. Don't sell Bruno. As I was saying earlier, the only scenario where I think it's okay to sell Bruno is if it's for Salah. Bruno to Eze feels quite sideways this week for me. So I wouldn't do that. Diaz, yeah, it depends who you sell him. Again, I wouldn't sell Bruno for Diaz. But Diaz is great for the next couple of game weeks. Sniping says Eze and Woods / Muniz or Jackson and Rogers. Can you not get João Pedro or Welbeck instead of either of those two? Eze and Welbeck / João Pedro. I'd go Eze, João Pedro over Jackson and Rogers. I'd prefer that combo a lot more than Wood or Muniz. If for some reason you cannot go with any other players than Wood or Muniz, then option 2 is better, but I imagine you can. Minte or Mitoma? Mitoma, definitely Mitoma. Dean says, if I can't get Trent, who out of Virgil or Robertson? Get Robertson, Dean. A lot more attacking threat. He's been very close to a haul. I remember against Brentford, there was, like, he's popping up like a left winger. There was that, I think he headed it like, near post and then like hit Flecken in the face. Didn't know anything about it. If he just puts that a few inches to the right, he's got a goal, he's got the clean sheet, bonus, 15 pointer or whatever that is. How many points is a goal, clean sheet and bonus? So it's 6 for a goal, 4 for the clean sheets. Yeah, 15. Zoboslai or Rogers? I'd say Zoboslai between those two. Harvey Elliott's out injured for a while as well. He fractured his foot over the break, so Zoboslai looks even better for minutes now. 15 minutes till deadline. Thank you all for tuning in so far. If you have enjoyed the stream, hit subscribe to support the channel and drop a like as well. Appreciate you all being here. It's good to have FPL back. We've got 8 games today. I can't wait for today's games. Loads of FPL ahead today. What about Kwanzaa? I don't think he'll start, if I'm honest. I hate to say it. And he's gone down in price again last night. If you want to check stuff like price changes or your live rank and stuff like that, go install the FPL Focal app. It's in the store. It's completely free. You've got like live rank. You've got bonus points which updates in real time during games. The fixture ticker tool. What else? I'm forgetting what my website does. Expected data. There's the player league, top all-time managers. Just search FPL Focal in the App Store, Android and iOS, or there's a links in the description, I think. I added them just before we went live. Yeah, I added them in the description as well, so if you want to get it that way, it's completely free. And we're working on it all the time. There's more and more being added. I'm proper happy with it. Like, I hope you guys are liking it as well. Like, it's been a year in the making, and I'm genuinely like so chuffed with it. And I'm honoured as well, honoured by how many are using it. Like, there's over 70,000 people that use it now. That's, when you think about that number, that is ridiculous. 70,000 people using it already. So yeah, thank you everyone that's installed it, and I hope you're enjoying it. Well, as I said earlier, I'm gonna have to put ads on it at some point, because last season I was losing 40 quid a month on it, and I was just fine with that. But because it's so much more popular now, it's the only option. It's the only solution, because I can't be spending like 200 quid a month out of pocket, because that's like 2.5 grand a year or something. So yeah, but that's going to be a while away still. Like, you need to work out the best way to do that. It's a very nice app. Thanks, Daniel. SB says say no more downloaded. Thanks, SB. Oh, by the way, can you also leave a 5-star review? Unfortunately, in Nigeria, they've blocked the web host, not just my website, but anything that's hosted there. So a few people left a 1-star review saying they can't get on it, which is quite frustrating, because that's not my fault or the app's fault. So if you can like just really quickly drop a 5-star review, that will help as well, because it's brought the average down, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, if anyone is tuned in from Nigeria and can't get on, the workaround is a VPN. And I'm sorry you can't get on. It's the country that's blocked it. Nothing on my end. Nothing I can do. Where did I get to? Faz says, Muniz to João Pedro for free. Or that and Brereton Diaz to Matoma for -4 or a 2-week punt. Or save the transfer. It's hard to say without knowing the rest of your team and what you might need those moves for, but I like Muniz to João Pedro. I do like that. But, you know, it depends. Like, if you don't have Salah, for example, I'd rather have 2 moves next week to get Salah. Because Haaland's got Arsenal, and Salah's the clear best captain next week. So it depends on the rest of your team. Hard to say. But I'd do it if you can. Why is no one putting Palmer in? Oh, you can't have them all. He's still pretty highly owned, isn't he? He's like 400... He's like 40% owned, isn't he? So I think he's still in lots of teams. But you can't have them all. Like, people want Salah and Haaland because they're on more points. Simple as that, isn't it? And then, like, Game Week 6, people want Saka. So it's, like, difficult to fit them all in. Mohammed says, thoughts on Souček? Do you prefer wildcard 12 or 6? I haven't even looked at 12, to be honest. So I can't give you a good answer on that. I like 6, though. Yeah, I like 6. Because you load up on Arsenal. You load up on Bumo, maybe Vissa for the fixture swings. You know, you might be able to squeeze in Foden because he's back in training. Obviously Haaland. Maybe get rid of Salah. You get rid of players like Smith Rowe and Robinson. I like 6, but I haven't looked at 12. Souček, nah. I prefer Rodgers for about the same price. Stefan says Isak and Kwanzaa for Arnold and João Pedro for free. Yeah, good moves. I like that. I like that a lot. Isak's one of those. A lot of people are going Isak to João Pedro and Welbeck to fund Salah. It's definitely one of those where Isak could punish all those sellers, but you're getting rid of Kwanzaa as well, so it's a good pair of moves. Mr. F says Trent and Minte or Lewis and Fernandez is captaining Salah differential for a rank rise. I prefer Trent and Minte, so that answers that one. Salah differential, yeah, he's 100% a viable captain, 100%. I mean, look at the projected points. For example, Haaland 7.9, Salah 7.8. So there's actually nothing between them. So if you're an upside chasing manager, you go for Salah. But it just seems mad, doesn't it, not to captain Haaland when he's on back-to-back hat-tricks, and like he's got a chance of getting 3 in a row, which has never happened in Premier League history. It's been 78 years since someone did that in the top flight of English football. I'm not sure if Nedeljkovic will start. He might do, but obviously Bagard started last game week. I've been told no Kwanzaa for Kwanzaa owners. So it'll be Konate in centre back again. I was also told it could be unchanged. 10 minutes till deadline. Make sure you've got your bench in the right order. Is there anything else? Yeah, Haaland starts from FPL Tony and Lazy FPL. Nothing else yet. Do we know if Doku starts? Nothing else on City yet. We're near the deadline, so we might get some more in the next 5, I'd say. Taran says, who's a better replacement for Porro? Van der Ven, Romero or Udogie? None of them. Why are you selling Porro? All of those are worse picks than Porro. All of those are worse picks than Porro. And it's so sideways going from a defender from one team to another. Like, I would never do Vardiol to Lewis, for example. I would never do Gabriel to Saliba. But in that case, it's even worse, because you'd be buying someone who's less attacking. Don't sell Porro, unless you have to start someone. But don't buy another Spurs defender. Buy someone like, I don't know who you can afford, like Trent Robertson for a bit more, Konsa Dunk for a bit cheaper. Is Haaland starting? Yeah, Haaland starts. Bottom left corner, there's a widget for who starts, who's benched, based on reliable leaks. So I'll add that as well. Why are you ringing me? I don't know if my mate's watching. I can't answer now. I'm live. Is this your current team? Yeah. Oh, let me tweet my team actually before I forget. There we go. Screenshot that. So what was it? It was Bruno Fernandes, Isaac, yeah, good. Jota starts, does he? Where's that come from? Oh yeah, Anfield Insight. Yeah, they're pretty reliable. Very rarely wrong anyway, so Jota starts, there you go. By the way, KL Gordon this week. Probably Gordon, but it's very close. Seems like a coin toss that. Any news on Cole Palmer? Yeah, there's a widget on the left-hand side that's got team news now, Roberto, and basically he's been seen in training, so I'd imagine he's fine and fully expected to start, which is good news if you've got him. Buchu says Saka to Salah, keep Bruno. So I personally sold Bruno for Salah because if I sell Saka, I was basically locking in a Game Week 6 wildcard. Because I'd have no Arsenal. Oh, how am I going to get Arsenal players back in without taking a bunch of hits? So doing it this way leaves the option to maybe save it. Because in Game Week 6 I could go Salah to Bumo, because Bumo looks great from Game Week 6. Awesome fixtures. I can do Cannon to Havertz, and then I've got double Arsenal. I've got Bumo for the fixture turning. I've got 8 attackers then. And I've got 2 mil in the bank to possibly buy an Arsenal defender. So that was why I did it. But yeah, I recognise that Bruno's got a good fixture. And he's been unlucky to blank. And it could go wrong. And obviously Isaac could as well. That TPS player is 175k. Very nice, very nice. What ranks everyone? Let us know in chat. What rank are you all at the moment? Ryan Baker says tattoo. Yeah, I'll quickly share it one last time. As promised, when I got 200,000, I got the tattoo. I'm sorry my socks are dirty. A lot of people commented about the socks. I'm sorry that my socks were not washed. Well, I'd had them all day, that's why they were dirty. But yeah, they said to me, make sure you wear fresh, clean socks. So the first thing I did was that I ordered new socks. And I'm glad I did, because everyone left comments about the socks rather than the tattoo. State of those socks. 372k, 2 mil, 33k, 1.3 mil, 400k. First, no chance. 1.7 mil. Oh, let me quickly catch up on super chats. Yeah, just Wacko. He says dunk in for Saliba, Livramento, Robinson, Porro, or Barco. Well, Barco's the obvious place to go, isn't it? Because he's not going to play at all. The rest will play. Obviously, Livramento is a bit of a minute's risk, like Trippier there, but it kind of makes sense to go there first. Deal with the problems in your team as a priority, basically. It's a good way to generally go about FPL. So Ahmad starts. Rob Dawson, ESPN. Okay. Dell says, smash those likes, guys. Thanks very much. On my screen it says 4 likes. Hopefully that's not the accurate number. But yeah, like the stream if you've enjoyed it. I prepare loads of content for these, so I hope you enjoy the work that goes into them. And subscribe if you haven't enjoyed it. I'll be doing lots of FPL videos next week. It's good to have FPL back. 8 games today. Taran says, who'd be the ideal replacement for Porro? Depends how much you've got, how much money you got. So like Robertson is what, 1.5 mil, 1.4 mil extra. For a bit cheaper, Conser, Dunk, 739. Okay, there we go. Let's get it to 1k likes. It's on at least 5 likes. Alright, let's do another check for leaks. All we've had so far is Haaland starts from Lazy FPL. Anfield Insight said Jota starts. They're generally reliable. Pretty reliable. I'd say like 90%. Conser or Dunk. For the next 2, Dunk just edges it, but longer term Conser, because you can start him for that Ipswich game, whereas in a few weeks' time Dunk's got Chelsea away. Conser or Rodgers. I'd back the attacker. Give Rodgers the start. Thanks very much, Philandy. Good to see lots of members in the chat, by the way. Rodgers or Smith Rowe? Rodgers. So nothing. We're really not going to get a leak on Lewis. I was hoping to be able to tell you guys whether Lewis starts or not. That's all we've had from City is that that Haaland starts. I'd be surprised if he doesn't, but obviously I was just hoping there'd be a bit more on City. Like some of you have got De Bruyne, Foden. They probably all start, to be honest. Rubbish leaks today. I know, Flames. Yeah, nothing. Well, the thing is, Tony's got Patreon now for the leaks, hasn't he? I'll have to ask him about if I was to sign up, can I just read it out on the streams? Probably not. I don't know if he has posted the whole team or not, but yeah, it's paywalled now. Semenyo or Smith Rowe? If I had to pick one, I think Semenyo makes a bit more sense now. Even though he's got a couple difficult fixtures. Kanate starts. Yeah, I believe he does. I was told no Quansah. So, yeah, my moves, I went Isak and Bruno to Haaland and Salah. Rashford starts against Southampton. Ahmad does as well. That's it. Morning, Andre. How we doing? Any news on Jota starting? Yeah, Anfield Express said he does, and they're a pretty reliable Liverpool account. Oh, we hit 100. We hit 1,000. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. What moves did everyone make this week? That's the deadline. That's 11 o'clock. Bench Teddy or Salah. You can't bench Teddy ever. Alright, let's take it off slow mode. Slow mode is off. We're up to 35. So let's get the predictions in. Let's keep going with this. Southampton v Man United. Scoreline predictions. First game today. Let's see if the wisdom of the crowd can keep the green arrows going. We've yet to fall in rank in the mini league. Put the game in the chat that you're predicting as well. I think slow mode's off, so get your guesses in. Let me end the poll as well. 1-0 United, 2-1, 3-1, 2-0, 4-0. 2-1. A lot of people were saying 1, so we'll go with that. Brighton v Ipswich. Guesses in the chat. Focal looks like an average Cole Palmer. Not sure if that's an insult. I think it is, but thank you. What are we saying this one? Brighton v Ipswich. Slow mode is off, so get your guesses in. 4-1, 3-0, 3-0. I think Ipswich are going to be a difficult team, you know. I'll go, yeah, 2. Everyone's saying 3, so we'll stick with what you're saying. Palace v Leicester. Palace v Leicester, what are we saying? 3-0 Palace, 2-1 Palace, 2-1 to Palace, 2-1. Keep the guesses coming, slow mode's off. I think 2-1, yeah, 2-1's what people are saying. Interesting, no clean sheet. Fulham v West Ham then. What are we saying? Fulham v West Ham. If Man United don't win, I can see Ten Hag getting sacked. I'd agree with that. He's massively under it right now if they don't win that. 2-0, 0-0. 2-1 to Fulham. 1-0. Everyone's saying 1-0. We'll go with 1-0. Well, not everyone, but it seems to be what I'm seeing a lot there. Liverpool v Nottingham Forest. Liverpool v Forest. What do we think for this one? Keep the guesses coming. Slow mode's off. 6-1. 3-0. 3-0. 4-0. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0's what the most popular one there. Man City versus Brentford. And be honest, if you've got Haaland or don't have him, be realistic. What's the scoreline going to be here? Will Haaland make history with the hat-trick of hat-tricks? 2-all. 13-0. It doesn't even go up to that. It goes up to 12. 3-0. Teddy 1, Focal 0. Haaland won't make history, that TPS player says. 3-0. 3-1. A lot of people saying 3-1. Villa versus Everton. Villa v Everton. Can Everton turn it around, or are they in serious trouble? Can Dyche turn it around? 3-0. 3-0 to Villa. 2-1. I think it'll be closer than that. Knowing what Dyche is like. 2-1. Okay, 2-1. Bournemouth v Chelsea. Bournemouth v Chelsea. The slow mode's off, so get your guesses in. You can guess as fast and as much as you want. 2-1 to Bournemouth. 2-all. 2-all, 2-all. 2-all. That'd be an interesting scoreline. 2-all. A lot of people saying 2-all. We'll go 2-all then. A lot of goals here. North London derby. Spurs v Arsenal. Huge, huge game. No Odegaard. No Rice. Not sure about Jesus. Solanke could be in line to start. Richarlison's out. It's going to be a really interesting one, this. Arsenal still slight favourites on the win probabilities, but it's close. And it's the odds have narrowed over the last couple of weeks. 2-all. You reckon a draw again? Another Arsenal draw. 2-all. 2-1 to Arsenal. A lot of people saying a draw. 1-all. Okay. And lastly, Wolves v Newcastle. Let me just check if anyone's live as well. If there's anyone to raid. What are we saying? 0-0? 1-0? 0-0? You reckon? Nah, surely not. 1-0? 1-0? 1-0? 3-0? 1-0? 3-1 Newcastle? We'll go with 1-0. That looks like the most popular answer. Alright, who's live? Is there anyone live that we can head over and say hi to? FPL Ryan? Is it in subscribe only mode? Is he still alive? Oh, has he just ended? Oh, it might have just ended. That's an unfortunate time. FPL Chica, that is a nice thumbnail. Damn. Let's listen in.
पार्क कर दी कोई ऐसा पार्क करेगी भाई देखा नहीं है जिंदगी में शॉट
FPL Malgs? Someone said earlier to go raid him actually, but we did. I think we raided him last stream. I don't know if there's anyone we can raid here. FPL MV?
To his girlfriend yesterday, Prime 2008.
FPL Envy, is it? Oh, it's subscribers only. I hate that subscribers only mode. It kind of kills the raid, especially when they've got it on like 30 seconds. I don't think there's anyone to raid this week. Listen, let's leave it there. Oh, it's Juice live. Yes, FPL Juice, of course. I didn't see them. Yeah, we haven't raided them for a while as well. Everyone head over to FPL Juice. It's a really, really good show if you've not seen it. Everyone head over to there. I'll be over there as well. Go say hi to the Juice boys. Spam Focal raid in their chat. Thanks very much as always for tuning in. Appreciate your support. I'll see you over at FPL Juice's stream. That's it from me. Good luck this game week. Focal out.